Hello everyone, welcome back. Myself and my wife went for a walk this morning, so I found a bunch of moss, so we collected that. See, there's some nice bright moss. So I said I'd bring in a couple of these junipers on rocks, and as you can see they're full of weeds and stuff, so I'm going to give them a clean up, just check through the trees, take off some of these growing bits and so on. Yeah, so we also went then to the beach where I collect my rocks, where I collected this rock. You can see it's quite a good rock, and found another couple of good ones. Found this one this morning, looks like it could be good for something one day. And I also found this one, basically like a piece of concrete with all the stone in it, but looks ideal for a tree to be planted in it. I don't know which way yet or whatever. I don't even know whether I would leave it like that or would I paint it up, but anyway, so those are a couple of nice rocks I found. Okay, so we'll start on this guy. First of all, I suppose we'll go through it all and weed it all. This is just a pot I made. Basically, it's just a little tray that I got, and I just put little feet on it. Now, as you can see, the tree's roots are filling this pot as well down here. Let's bring this down a bit. This is all the tree roots are down here as well, which is good. Keeping the tree good and healthy, but we just want to get rid of all the weeds out of there and freshen up a bit and put some fresh moss on it and clean it up and hope the birds leave it alone. So, that's actually a root from the tree. I'm going to walk back here. Say it won't be long, I'll have to, probably this year be okay because it's not been on this for long, but it's definitely filling this pot with roots now, so I'll give it maybe another year and then we'll have to do a bit of work on it, take it out and trim the roots and stuff, but for now this year it should be okay. Yeah, the roots all over the pot down here. I try when I'm doing these rock plantings, if I can, get the roots to go down into the pot rather than just growing in a lump of soil on the top here. You'll see on the next one, it's just growing in the lump of soil on the top because the rock's a bit big and it doesn't do as good as this one. Okay, we'll take out all these weeds as well. So where you can, just try and get the roots to reach down into the pot below or tray. So yeah, it was a nice walk we went on. We went down to the beach. Very windy, so there was a lot of big waves, and more or less had the beach to ourselves because it was so windy, but I like walking on the beach in the wind and the big waves and stuff. Ideal for surfers, but there's no one there today. Okay, just a bit of moth on the trunk here, we'll clean off. So this tree was, when I got it, it was, imagine, planted like that. So I tilted it on its side and put it on this rock, styled it that way then. Now, I don't want to trim any of these roots, I'm going to keep all the roots in, keep the health of the tree as good as I can. Okay, let's clear off this mess now. tree itself. There's a guy wire on it here. I'd say I can probably release that now. Yeah, that's pretty good. The other wires on the tree, they're not too bad. I can't see much biting in going on, so we'll leave them for another little while. So all that's left to do now is just going to go around the tree, checking the branches and clean them back a little bit where they need it. Any downward growth and stuff, or dead branches and things. Glasses for this part. Take out any of the brown dead bits. Just want to clean off anything on the underneath. You can pull it off, but I'd rather just snip it rather than yanking on the branch and then ripping something. Some juvenile foliage here we can get rid of. It's for the first year, I'd say this tree didn't do too great. I find when you put them on the rocks and things like that, for the first year they tend to sulk a bit. They just kind of grow very, very slowly, and then when the roots actually do reach the other pot and stuff, that's when you really start to see them take off. Here, it's kind of going back on the other one. Okay, so you can see basically what I'm doing. I'm just tidying up the branches. So I'll just pause the video and we'll go around and I'll do more. And if I see anything, I will come back. All these guys, will reduce them back. Okay, yeah, so I'll just pause the video and I'll just keep going through the tree and then we'll come back and have a look at it. Okay, so I think I'm more or less done with the tree. I've got the bulk of it done that I can see. So it's thinned out and cleaned out where I feel it needed it. Got rid of all the dead stuff and things like that. So now it's just a matter of remossing it all. Just take out some of these clippings now that I've okay. Yeah, it looks a bit sparse now, a bit kind of not a separation in it, but it'll fill out again pretty soon. Like these pads will fill out and start to form one pad again and things like that. So yeah, right, so we'll start on the mossing. So the first thing I'll do is do the up and over piece. Start at the bottom here. sure there's no weeds in it. This is just collected off a wall, an old stone wall. And it just comes off easy with a little trowel. If you're collecting moss, you want to kind of collect moss if it's going to be in the sun. Collect moss that grows in the sun, and if it's going to be, say, in a forest on the shade at the back of the forest, then try and collect moss that grows in the shade. Let's get rid of some of this soil underneath here. And this stuff grows in the sun, so it should be okay on here. Some of it has a bit of a build-up of soil, probably mainly dust that's collected from the road, so it's next to the road, the wall. Okay, so that's got up and over the top done. Now we'll just do down here. And that usually I like to use different mosses and stuff, but that's all I have at the moment, so we'll just use this for this planting. There's very little weeds in it too, which is good. It is a little bit thick, I'd rather a bit thinner, but like I said, it's all I have at the moment. Just put it back here. And one last piece for this back corner. And we'll call that done. Okay, so I think we're okay with that one. We can put that one to one side and we'll put it out and give it a good soaking. And we'll bring up the next one. Next one's a bit heavier. It's a pretty solid rock, this one. Okay, so you see this one not doing as good as a different type of juniper, but it's not doing as good, this one, as that one. And, again, all its growth has got to be on this top, and having all these weeds growing in it is probably not helping, sapping the energy out of the soil. It is growing and it's doing okay, but there's a lot of new growth, but like there's juvenile foliage say here, which means it's a bit stressed. So I think I'm not going to do much pruning on this one. I'm going to leave it for another little while just to hopefully gain a bit of more vigour from the spring. What we will do though is we'll try and get as much of this off and give it a fresh batch of soil, and again we'll mass it up and clean it all up. Some pretty big weeds in there. And especially like that in a rock pot, if you have too many weeds, there's so little soil for the tree to get nutrients out of. If you've got all these weeds sucking all the nutrients as well, then obviously your tree will suffer. So I kind of left this one getting a bit too weedy, to be honest. Roots are all tangled into each other, into the roots of the tree, so they're not coming out too easy. This one might want to repot in the spring or later on in the spring. This actually just clean off all this, all the roots from the weeds out of the soil and out of the tree itself, all winding into the tree. So for now maybe we'll just give it a clean up, and then later on in the month I might give it a repot. The caterpillar there. Yeah, it looks like do it a little bit of a repot, alright. Slugs and everything. Get rid of him. Yeah, I think come the summer we'll repot this one. I'm just thinking if I had kind of a cascade pot, I'd be nearly tempted to put it into a cascade pot and let it recover for a year or so. And take it off this rock altogether for now. I mean, it's still growing, it's just there's not a lot of soil there for it, and I know the junipers don't need a ton of soil, but it's obviously not getting enough from what's here at the moment. It might be also quite wet, there's a lot of composty soil in here, so I'll probably put on to hold it on. I'm going to have a think about it. Okay, I've decided I am going to give it basically a year off from sitting on this rock. It's been on this rock for a couple of years now, a few years. So maybe I'll take it off the rock. I've got this pot here, it's a tall pot, which I think I might put it into, let it recover for a year, and then maybe we'll put it back on the pot again, on the rock again. But we'll let it grow for a year and get just, well, like I said, it's not too bad, it's not really bad, it's just it's kind of been struggling, you know, so I think I'm going to do that. Okay, so we'll get it off this pot anyway, and I try not to disturb too much of the roots if I can, but I do want to clean it. Well, I say disturb roots, but I think I'm gonna have to clean them out because it's absolutely, see there, all the white roots, they're all the weeds, so we will have to give it a bit of a good cleaning on it. So let's just move this guy out the way. I'm going to just get my tray out again. Okay, so we'll just clean all these roots out. See, there's a lot of weeds in there. See, not a lot of bonsai soil. The bulk of it is compost, presumably what the tree came in, or I built up around it with the compost maybe, to try and keep as much moisture up here on the rock as I could. Maybe what I should do with the rock is maybe cement a bit around on the top, so it can be planted basically in the top of it. Then you can always hide the circle of cement with moss and that, but it'll just give it a bit of a deeper area where the tree can be planted in. I think it's going to have to go out into the wash bucket and clean this off. It's pretty stuck. Okay, so I'll go and take it out and give it a good cleaning out in the wash bucket, and then we'll come back and have a look at it. Okay, so what's happened here is, because the roots have nowhere to go, they've just kind of gone into matted balls at the ends, so we'll just leave it alone. I don't want to do too much work to the roots now. We'll just put it in here, and then the roots will at least have room to grow, because they haven't really had room to grow. So we'll stick it in here. We'll let it grow for a year or so, maybe 2 years, and what might happen is the roots might get long, fill this, and then when we do put it back on the rock, the long roots, we can go excuse me, down the rock and into the soil like the other one, so that they've more of an area to grow into. So yeah, we'll put it in here anyway and see how that goes. Okay, so empty all the bits out. We'll put a bit of drainage cloth in the bottom. Some of the coarser soil down the bottom just to help with the drainage. And then we put some more of this finer stuff on the top. It's going to have plenty of room for growth now in here. See how deep we want it. Go another bit, I think. that maybe. Oh, it's a bit top heavy, so we will have to put a rock on it probably. Taking a lot of soil to fill this little part. Okay. Let's just work that in. Just want the front branch come around the front slightly like that. Just work that into the roots. I might actually just tie it to the pot on the outside for now until it takes. That's probably the safest bet. Because the birds, if you put a rock in it, they're not going to be able to put too much of a big rock. One, it'll stop the water getting in. There's not a lot of space up here. And two, if the birds do knock the rock off, then the trees could easily fall out. Okay, let's put a bit of wire on that now. Let's just put this here. Around the end. Under the pot. Wrap around that branch so it's actually on the wire rather than on the branch as such. This big up. I'll just put that around the trunk like that. No, it's still quite wobbly. I'll have to tie that a bit better. Work it in a bit more. Soil underneath is a bit, still a bit loose. Probably still will have to put a rock on it, but at least the wire now will stop it being able to be pulled out of the pot by the birds. Put a big rock on it here. Something like that. That should be secure enough. Okay, so we'll give that a year or 2 or 3, whatever it takes. And like I said, hopefully it'll grow well now. It's got loads of room to grow, long roots in, and then we can get the roots on the rock, come down the side rock and into the soil then below. So yeah, hopefully it'll recover. Well, not so much recover, like I said, just hopefully it will start to grow a bit stronger. Should doing that. The other one's doing fine. You saw all the roots in the bottom, so that definitely helps. So yeah, we'll try and do that with this one. So that's it for this one, guys. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.